Hey, this is Meg from tinyhousefor3.com, and I needed to come out and take some measurements, both for myself and because somebody was asking me about floor height, ceiling height, etc. of our barn raiser that you can see back here behind me. Forgive my terrible camera work, hard to do it with the phone. I thought I would come out here and show you what a Tumbleweed Amish barn raiser looks like when you get it from the shop, however, minus the fact that we have house wrap on ours. And incidentally, we have that on because the zip boards that your barn raiser comes prepared with cannot be left exposed for more than 180 days before you put the siding on, and well, we're kind of running behind. So that green that you can see up there in the peak, that's what the green zip boards look like. That's what your entire house looks like. I'm sure you've seen the pictures on our website, but needless to say, this house wrap buys us into technically an additional 6 months of exposure. We will not have it exposed for that long, but we've also got the extra grace ice and water shield. You can see the white trim, that strip edge that we installed because our roofing material, our primary one, Da Vinci Bella Forte, looks like shake. Anyhow, it requires that particular drip edge. We're going to paint it somewhere it's not quite so bright neon white. But anyhow, this is a Tumbleweed Amish barn raiser, Cypress model, 24 foot with dormers up in the loft. And I thought I would take you inside. It's a little dark, but I'll show you what they look like on the inside. Alright, so here is our lovely little porch, and I love that our little never stop thing ended up there. It was completely coincidental. It was not intentional, just happens. So here's our lovely little porch. I'm sure you can figure out that we put this on the opposite side that most people put their porches, but we gotta be different. What can we say? Before I go too far in, I'll just show you right there because this is probably the clearest image we'll get of it. This is one of these big Simpson strong tie things, I think that's what it's called. Anyhow, that's what basically anchors the whole house to the trailer. That bolt that's coming up through the middle is actually welded into the trailer. So it comes up from the trailer through the hole in the wood, into the framing, bolts onto this big beast of a metal thing here, and that keeps the house from going bye-bye when you hit a big speed bump. Plenty of people have installed these by themselves and have done an amazing job and have not had their house fly off. However, I am so hyper paranoid and have recurring nightmares of that happening that it was imperative to us that we have professionals do all the framing work on our house. That's why we chose a barn raiser and didn't just build this from our scratch. Not just that, but also because frankly, if we didn't, we wouldn't have this much done. There's no way. Obviously, we're already running behind getting the siding on the house, so only imagine what we would have to show you if we'd tried to do this ourselves from scratch. So also up here in the corner, you can see those are little hurricane straps that help hold the house roofing on to the main frame of the house. And there's more up in the tippy top, but you can't see them, that are strapped on the other side of all that lumber. That roof sheathing covers them. Same thing, kind of holds them all together. I'm probably not using all the correct terminology. Forgive me. I've only been to one Tumbleweed workshop, so I'm still learning. Anyhow, this is the right side of our house. I can tell you right now, this window where it says TV goes here is going away, but this is one of their pre-framed windows. They have measured them and chosen standard sizing, basically 24 by 36, standard sizing for awning windows. As I discovered when we went to go order our Geldwin Tradition Plus windows, which I'll show you a couple of those in a minute, that is not the standard size for casement windows, nor is it the standard size for double hung. Casements were a lot closer, and in fact, I could be wrong on the casement, but the double hung window was not the same size. They are narrower than this. So we'll have to do a little bit of adjusting. This particular one's going to go away because we're going to hang my iMac on there, so we needed the extra space. Instead, we're going to put a skylight right there. Speaking of the roof, you can see that there is plywood up there. The walls are OSB, which is the back side of those zip boards, and then the floor is also OSB. And that's probably one of the only two things we would have changed is I have a paranoia of OSB getting wet and buckling. I'm sure that this is perfectly fine because people that are much, much smarter than me when it comes to building materials built this and know what they're doing. I'm going to seal it just because it makes me nervous, but that's just me. Maybe it's because I got freaked out when we picked it up. There was a freak snowstorm in May and there was like 4 feet of snow from here all the way back to here when we picked it up. So I was a little nervous about that, but it's really done fine. And I don't think that there's going to be any issues. It's totally my paranoia that's making me do that. So this is, and you'll have to forgive me, the lighting is not going to be great. You'll see the little LED lights. This is going to be our little study area. That big window there, that's an egress window. It's probably going to be a French casement or a regular casement. The one where this little LED light is, it's going to go away because we're actually going to mount a small drop-down desk for Brandy to use for school. That window, however, we've already purchased, and it's going to be used. It's one of these guys down here. One of these nice double hung windows. You can also see there's that big honking all-thread rod. That's what helps hold this nook steady and stable. better than just them framing it. It's pretty meaty, so I'm not concerned about it going anywhere. You can also see the loft, and I apologize, I don't have a ladder. You can see how smaller that space is from a lot of the ones that you've probably seen online. The reason for that is this is one of theirs that they built with the actual Dutch hip roof. Probably saying that wrong, but most folks don't build them that way when they build them themselves because it's kind of a complicated roofing thing to make. So they just bump those straight out and put a cute little window up there and have a little more space up there than we do, but it's still cute on the outside, so hey, we're gonna go with it, we'll make it work. I can't show you the top because I'm too short, I apologize, but I can show you the underside that is positively gorgeous. This lovely 1x2 pine, smooth, beautiful finish. It's on both lofts. The top part is actually, I think, 1x4. Also gorgeous. We will probably stain this, but beyond that, we're not going to mess with it a whole lot because it's well polished and sanded and smooth and very pretty. Let's see, going around the side here. This is, let me try to back up as much as I can. So I'm holding my lovely little phone as far up against the wall as I can to try to give you an accurate representation of how far it is from one end to the other. It's 24 feet. Basically from the OSB that I'm leaning up against to the other side of the OSB. So it's going to be a little bit shorter once you factor in wall thickness and whatnot. We can see there is more framed windows here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 on each side. Well, actually 4 on the long side with the loft, the nook, and then 3 on the short side where your porch is, whichever side is going to be your porch. And then there's one on the back wall there. And then you've got 2 more here because this one counts as number 4. So lots of windows, and that's not even counting all the windows up in the dormers, up in the loft. There's actually 5 windows up there, and this right here, this little doodad, oops, sorry, that is the window that goes way back there. It's a bigger one too. It's wide and short compared to these other ones. That big one right there is I think 30 3/4 and by 40 3/4. This big old beam up here in the middle, I just measured it. It is 10 feet 6 inches from the floor. So give or take a little bit because, you know, I'm short. But needless to say, that's your total inside clearance. I have not measured from this part of the beam to the top of the loft, but it's several feet. It's plenty because Brandy can sit up in there without smacking his head, not even close. And with the mattress up there, he'll be just fine. For us, this is going to be our kitchen area. We're actually going to take this window and this window and shove them over a few feet, mostly because the refrigerator takes up a little much. You can see that mark right there. That's about how wide our fridge is. And plus we're gonna do a wet bath here with a wine barrel bathtub and a closet. And then on this side, we're gonna have a Nature's Head composting toilet and another closet because this space here is gonna be for stairs. So this window might have to be shrunken. But anyway, there's gonna be little stairs that go up. And then other thing that I mentioned that I would like to change is I would have moved this to here. That would have given us 2 feet of headroom to come up into the dormer space and up onto the loft space up there. But it's one of those things that I didn't think about it. You don't think about it. I've never built a house. I had no idea what this was going to look like until we physically got it. So, oops on our part. In hindsight, we should have told them that, but I really didn't. It didn't even cross my mind. So, note to self, if you plan to build stairs and you're going to have a barn raiser done, you might consider telling them to please move this bracing here back 2 feet, because these are 24 on center, and move it back 1. So that you can actually put your loft ladder going up or your stairs going up and not smack your head when you come up that way, because then you'll have that much roof space to go up into, not that much. I can't show you the loft. I'm so sorry because I'm so short and I don't have a ladder up, but there's about as far as I can reach. There's quite a bit of room up there. You can see we've got 2 windows on that side, 2 windows on that side, and the one in the back. Plenty of space up there. King size beds going up there. Lots of room, no problems up there at all. That was a huge must-have for us because Brandy is so tall and I am slightly claustrophobic. So that should solve all of those concerns. This space back here, and I don't have a great marker for it, but basically this window framing here back and all the way over is Rad's room. It's more or less 6 feet wide by 4 feet long, give or take a little bit. You can actually see that's the 4 foot mark. It's actually inside that window. So, give or take a little bit. Point is it's wide enough for a twin size mattress. There's actually a house on Tumbleweed's website right now that shows a twin size mattress. It's a red cover on the mattress. It's a white, very pretty white house on the inside that you can see. That's a horizon plan, which we're more or less using for this house. We're going to tweak it a little bit, but with the split bathroom thing. But anyhow, so here's the other end of the house. Now this is basically as flat as up I can on the back side looking forward. And again, you can see this really pretty finished underside of our loft here. Looks really, really lovely. Again, I plan on actually putting a cover over this, painting it with a pretty night sky. We want to do like a camping theme, and putting some soundproofing materials up in here just to give Brogan a little more privacy. But honestly, I'm not sure because it's so pretty. I don't want to cover it up. But anyhow, that's pretty much the gist of it. So kitchen here, TV there, study there with a cedar chest. Sorry, it's a little dark over there. Area here will have sofa of some form or fashion. We just can't bring ourselves to do the bench seat because we like to watch movies and I can't sit on a hard bench for 2 hours. Somewhere in this general vicinity is going to be stairs, and all of this pretty wood flooring, all these different colors, all these different widths that you see. There's a whole bunch of different ones. We picked all that stuff up at a Habitat Restore, and every bit of that is going way up there on the ceiling. So it's going to be pretty when it's all done, but we got a lot more to do. And real quick, I'll show you our windows. There you go, Jeld-One Tradition, aluminum clad. Those are the Arctic Silver, standard color. The only thing fancy we did was put the wood little splats there in the glass. That's it. I hope you enjoyed it. And there's your Tumbleweed barn raiser.